Hey, hello everyone. Thank you for joining us on today's first edition of the 8 p.m. UTC Fireside Hang. Um, this is different in two ways. The first is the time. Obviously, this time is different. Usually it's 4:30 p.m. UTC. This time it's 8 p.m. UTC. And so we're experimenting with the time to try and get as many new members as possible. So with this current time, it's 9 p.m. in the UK and 10 p.m. in the rest of Europe. It's 5 p.m. in Brazil, where Eric is at the moment. It's also around, I think, 6 p.m. in New York or the East Coast, and then in the West Coast, it's 1 p.m. So the idea here is we're trying to like solve for the best time for everyone globally, and also I think if you're in the Far East, like Japan or Singapore, it's early in the morning. So maybe if you're like waking up, getting ready for work, you can put it on while that's happening as well. This is driven by your feedback. So if you all hate it and you're like, you know what, this time sucks and I want to go back to the old time, let us know. If there's another time that you think is best suited, again, let us know. We're happy to do whatever the community gives us feedback to do, right? Like, so you guys drive this. It's a community-driven effort. The Fireside Hang is made for the community. It's hosted on Discord, but right now the second change is that it's being restreamed to YouTube and also to X or Twitter, wherever you prefer to call it. So if you're joining us from YouTube or Twitter and this is your first time being in a Fireside Hang, the idea behind them is like an informal setting for people who are up to date with the Midnight Network to join to ask questions. Usually we'll have a guest on from outside the Midnight world or from outside the IO world, and we'll ask some questions about their origin, what they think of Midnight, what they're working on, and really just try and inspire people to come up with new ideas and to really build the connection across the Web3 ecosystem. Sorry. And the other thing that's going on at the moment is, if it's your first time joining us, is we currently have a hackathon happening at the moment, which is Ecosystem Tooling Challenge. The idea behind this hackathon is we want people to build tools for Midnight. So in this case, you're not really building on Midnight, you're building for Midnight. And there's 5 different tracks that you can join. The link to that is hopefully being shown to you right now on the screen on Restream. I can't see it because I'm hosting the call on Discord, so that's my screen at the moment. But if you go over to midnight.network and go to the hackathons page, you can register there if it's not appearing. We also have with us today joined is Erick Romero from Edda Labs. Edda Labs is the collaborator with us for this hackathon, and we've brought Eric on to ask him a few questions, introduce him to the new wider community. And also, Eric has built tooling for the Midnight ecosystem already, so he's the perfect person to have as the new Restream guest. So Eric, I'll let you introduce yourself, and then we can take it from there.
Thank you, Ahmed, for sharing the space, and happy to share some knowledge and experience with the whole Midnight community. And I'm Eric. I'm part of the Mage and Edda Labs team. We are creating tools, lowering the barriers for new developers, and actually creating products for real businesses using the Midnight blockchain. And I'm here from. I started in Cardano 2020. And I joined the Midnight community when Charles first introduced Midnight, like back in, I think it was January 2024. So I got really interested because actually Midnight provided that feature that I was really needing for businesses, which is privacy, programmable privacy. So I got really interested, and that's why I joined Midnight really early. And I'm really happy to be here.
Perfect. So as we go along, there's going to be like an informal Q&A with Eric. As we go along, if you have any questions and you're watching this on YouTube, just pop it in the YouTube chat. We'll see it. And of course, if you're on Discord, feel free to type in the chat as you usually do. We will pause and take your questions as they come. So Eric, to begin with, what I would like to ask you is, what do you think of Midnight? Like, obviously, you are someone coming from the Cardano ecospace, and we have a lot of people here from Cardano. And there's like a big community of people who are still yet to transition over. And obviously you've done that quite well. So in your experience, how did that go? How did the new transition to developing on Midnight go from developing on Cardano?
Yeah, well, actually, it went really well. And I wouldn't call it kind of like a transition. I would call it just kind of a augmentation because as everybody knows, Mesh, it's an OG in Cardano for tooling. They've been creating tooling since the beginning, and Mesh got really interested on providing tooling within the Cardano ecosystem, which we consider Midnight. And Midnight is part of the Cardano ecosystem, and it provides us a lot of features. So you can use Midnight as an L1 and L2, and for us developers that create products, at the end we use the best tools for the products, right? We don't just get in love of one tool, right? We just use whatever fits the best for the purpose or the needs for the product. So that's the idea with Mesh, integration of different tooling, and now Midnight, which is going to be kind of the integrator of all these blockchains, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Cardano, whatever blockchain. So at the end, we share that feeling about there is not one blockchain that's going to win. Actually, it's going to be the blockchain ecosystem, and Midnight plays an important role for that to happen. So yeah, this is kind of my ethos regarding blockchain. And I'm developing in Cardano, I'm developing in Midnight, and these two blockchains kind of give me the features that I need for creating the products, right? And since I believe a lot in that vision, we actually in Mesh, we're creating that tool to actually engage and embark more developers that are going to be much needed for those products to be developed once the time comes, right?
Yep. And I want to circle back to Mesh, but we'll do that later. What I would like you to do is, I think we mentioned this 2 weeks ago when you were on, but you have 2 unique use cases for Midnight that you've already kind of like working on and built. For those who are joining us new, can you just talk about them a bit more as well?
Sure. So Edda Labs, it's a software development company that we focus on products. And 2 of the main products that we are building right now for businesses here in Brazil, but we have our focus to expand internationally, for South America and then beyond, are related to 2 big industries, which are renewable energy and recycling procedures, right? Everything boils down to real world assets. So at the end, we are tokenizing real assets, and we are bringing that to the blockchain, right? To increase security, liquidity, and all these nice things about real world assets. So Midnight offers that, right? Privacy and regulation friendly. So at the end, we are the companies here in Brazil got really interested because what we are offering, they don't know anything about blockchain. They only care about, okay, you're gonna give me a solution of a problem, and you're gonna be able to do that with a better liquidity, better security, and the operational cost is gonna go lower than the operational cost that we have right now. I love it. Whatever you're doing, I want it. So they don't know anything about blockchain, but Midnight, it acts kind of the background infrastructure for that to happen.
Okay, perfect. Can you speak a little bit more about Mesh for those who don't know what Mesh is?
Yeah, so Mesh, it's we have 3 pillars that we're working for Mesh Midnight, which is education, tooling, and ecosystem, right? As I mentioned, for products, we want developers. So we are working in the ecosystem pillar as well. Education for those that want to start learning and then get to collaboration, right? And the tooling is actually to bypass this boilerplate, right? There is a lot of things that people keep doing the same. So we just want to accelerate the process, and developers start writing their logic instead of worrying about syntaxes, how this structure works. So it kind of lowers the barrier for example, Web2 developers that they just want to execute the business model they want. So we're bringing these 3 pillars, and what it's nice, we don't want to work as a silo. We are in constant communication with the engineering team, the DevRel team, since we have common goals, right? And we are working really close together so we can expand on those topics and reach as much developers as we can.
Yes, perfect. And so this is why I have Erick on today, is because the current ecosystem challenge is to get people to build things for Midnight. And so we had Adam Reynolds on, I think 3 weeks ago now, and he was talking about the best way to build tooling is to make the user think less, right? The more abstraction you have between whatever the user is using and them thinking about it. So a really good example would be if you're a Web2 developer and you're using AWS or Azure or whatever it may be, a lot of the times the libraries have so much abstraction that, say you're using a service bus, you're kind of like writing like 2 to 3 lines of code, and behind those 2 to 3 lines of codes, there's infrastructure, there's deployments, there's like a first in, first out queue, there's all the stuff going on, and you're just dealing with it with 3 lines of code. So you're thinking minimally about something that's really complex, and that's what we want to bring to Midnight. Because right now, obviously, we're still in testnet, so a lot of the people building on Midnight are having to think a lot. So if you could come in there and build something that can help abstract that away for them, then you can be sure you'll be winning a prize in one of the 5 tracks. Eric, also wanted to ask you, you've partaken in 2 previous hackathons on Midnight, and you had 2 submissions. One was the C Battle Hackathon, and the other one was the ZK ZK Identity Hackathon as well. In your experience, what are some of the tips you would give for people to have a successful submission going forward?
Yeah, well, regarding the what kind of idea, there's a lot of people says, Eric, what should I build for Midnight? And something really nice about Midnight is that actually it solves a lot of problems. So you can think whatever solution you might want to build on Midnight. Midnight actually is going to give that privacy feature. It could be gaming, could be real world assets, could be authorizing specific people to operate on your smart contracts. So it's really open for different kind of business cases or solutions. Regarding the implementation, one of the, I should call it the biggest mistake I've made, it's kind of trying to create a solution using, for example, instances and the testnet itself, because it takes way too much time. So there should follow kind of a step procedure. First, testing your logic, then going through instances in local testnet, and then on testnet. This is going to accelerate the process. Since the hackathons, it lasts just 1 month. Sometimes the mistakes that we make, and I've made those mistakes, is kind of you want just to implement like a huge application, and at the end you don't get to actually build something meaningful in the sense of what your intentions were at the beginning. So it's kind of first thing what I'm going to be able to do in 1 month, depending on the time available and your expertise, and then just grab first whatever you need. Join the different channels, because right now Midnight from 5 months ago compared to now, it's a different place for learning. Right now there is a lot of channels to actually learn. I mean, the Discord channel now, their implementation with the Kappa AI, that you can actually talk with the AI, synchronize with the documentation. That's amazing. Ahmed, that's a new tool that I've seen people using it, and I love it. I have already tested it. Also, there is the documentation. It's well structured. And the academy, right? Something that the DevRel team it's building really nice. And actually, I'm hosting on Tuesday and Fridays the midnight sessions, where we go through the ecosystem updates and then technical deep dives and question and answers, just to kind of people that want to start developing, they have a space to talk nerdy things, right?
Yes.
So yeah, that would be my recommendation.
Perfect. Just to expand on what Eric was talking about there, if you're not watching Discord, come to our Discord, join our Discord. We now have Kappa.ai, where you can ask in just standard English questions about documentation, and kind of like in a chat GPT manner, it returns back to you the answer to your question. I've tested it extensively and it works really well. All the feedback so far has been amazing. And yeah, just come on over to Discord, join it. It's where all the information is privy to first, right? So if you want to be one of the people who knows what's happening on Midnight first, come join our Discord. And then also, I want to expand a little bit because Eric, you are a mentee. You're willing to mentee people for this hackathon, right? You're willing to give your time and support on Tuesdays and Thursdays, was it?
Tuesday and Friday.
Tuesday and Friday, sorry. Okay, and what time is that? And where can people join it?
Yeah, so we are hosting on Tuesday and Friday in 3 languages: English, Spanish, and Portuguese, right? So we want to give opportunity for everybody. And on Tuesday and Friday, the English session, it's at 10:30 UTC -3, the Brazilian time. But all these times are shared on my Twitter account. So you can go over there and see the sessions are going to be hosted on Google, but actually going to be shared on YouTube, right? So those that they cannot join, they can see the videos afterwards on YouTube. But those that attend in person, I'm going to give them preference for the question and answers, right? So we spend 10, 20 minutes answering questions, technical questions, how to develop, and and people are really happy. I mean, we just had our second session, and there's a lot of people joining, and universities in Brazil really happy that they are opening the doors for Portuguese people, speaking people, and I've seen a lot of potential with these sessions, because normally people, they don't have the time, right? I mean, us that all the time we're developing, we understand the process, we know where to find the documentation, but people that are not following all the time and they want to find something, when you having too much resources, it's nice, but if you are new, it's kind of, okay, I don't know where to find anything, right? So this session is kind of, it's kind of that, trying to guide people on where to find information and how to start. And the question and answers, it's nice because people that they're just starting, they can join, and people actually that are more experienced and want to talk some technical things, they can join as well.
Perfect. That's amazing. And what's your Twitter? If you can give that a shout out to people watching so they can go and follow.
Okay, I'm gonna put it here on the it's Erick Romero Edda. Erick Romero.
Erick Romero Edda. So
Edda.
if you go there, I'm sure Eric will update you all. So it's in Discord chat, but if it's Erick ERICK Romero ROMERO, then EDDA on X and Twitter. And if you go and follow him on there, you can see when those sessions are. I'd also like to use this time to announce an initiative that I'm actually launching. And this initiative is a way for you to get feedback as the hackathon is ongoing. So if you have a submission and you want some feedback on it, or you're not sure where you stand in terms of, is this acceptable, is this a good idea, you can reach out to me directly here on Discord. You can share a repo with me. You can remain private, just add me as a collaborator. I can go in, take a look, run your project, and I will give you feedback on that before the submission date and tell you, maybe think about tweaking this, adding this functionality. And really, that's a way for the community to stay engaged throughout the hackathon. So obviously, we're here every Wednesday, and we have a Discord support channel, so you can raise a ticket if anything needed tech support-wise. If you want specific feedback on your submissions before the deadline, and maybe your product's like half built, or you're not sure what else to add or what to remove, again, feel free to reach out to me or just tag me on Discord, and I will take a look at your project personally and give you some specific feedback for that submission. So I'm hoping people utilize that, starting from this hackathon, and then we'll be doing it in the foreseeable hackathons as well. Eric, I believe there's also something you wanted to show us, right? You wanted to present something.
Yeah, actually something that we are building in Mesh regarding tooling that I think people are going to be really happy about it.
Okay, cool. I'm excited because I haven't seen this, so I'm pretty excited. So I'll let you share your screen, and then we can get on.
Okay. Let me see here. Okay. Can you see my screen?
Yes, I can. Can everyone else? In Discord?
Yeah, I think everybody can see. Okay, perfect. So well, there is actually 3 things that we've been working on that I'm really happy to share. It's a work in progress, but we are getting there, and we're gonna be adding extra features, right? So now people are gonna be able to integrate a wallet widget on their applications in React. all the workflows and everything, it's just integrated. So we have here our docs. As you can see here that we have the wallet widget, right? So we can connect to Lace. We have the wallet widget works for dark screen and white screen. So I'm going to connect with Lace. In the future, that wallet widget is going to be able to connect with different wallets that support Midnight. And we can see that we have connected. We can see our address over there. And then we can copy or we can disconnect. That's it. Wow. You just put that in React and it works. And something that Ahmed mentioned, right? You can see that it's really straightforward. So developers, they don't have to worry about integration things. And they just want to use the wallet for doing some business logic, right? And I wanted to share how that works with other applications and in React. It's as simple as this. We just import a React provider, in this case, Midnight Mesh provider. And if you're developing another contract, you just put the providers of these other contracts over here and everything gets connected. So in this case, this is the application we did for the auction hackathon, the CK identity hackathon. And we use two contracts, one for the token, one for the auction, and the other one for the wallet widget. So at the end, you just import these three providers, and then you just use hooks for creating whatever application you want. So instead of spending 1 month, you're gonna spend like hours to actually do that. And something that really nice as well that we are gonna be working along with the DevRel team. It's the here we have a repo that we are putting all the examples. So here we're gonna be working along with the DevRel team. In what sense? There is repos that only uses TypeScript, right? Because there is a trade-off between how much abstraction you want to implement on your applications and how much flexibility you want, right? So the idea here is that we are creating the abstraction for React, so people can actually, those that are using React, they can just have the UI, the widgets, everything ready for them to implement in their applications. So we want to put it over here, and we're going to be adding this UI part. And the nice part is that we are doing synergy along with the DevRel team that we're going to be working on examples.
That is amazing. That is absolutely amazing. And that is a perfect example of the sort of abstraction we're looking for. So in like 5 lines of code, you've managed to connect the wallet, you've got a React hook. And if you were to write that, let's say yourself, that would have taken you much, much longer and put much more effort. But by creating a widget here, it's literally, what, 5 lines of code to connect the wallet?
So 3 lines of code.
3 lines of code, even less.
Yeah.
That is the sort of thing that people should be taking inspiration from if they're entering the ecosystem challenge, because that is perfect. Only that is like the best example I could have given, and it's a visual one too. So really appreciate that, Eric. That is amazing.
Thank you, Ahmed. Yeah, we are.
Now, right?
What's that?
This is available for people to use now?
Yeah, it's available. I mean, I'm gonna create a video for the next session how to integrate these wallet widget for the other applications, and we are gonna be adding new features to this wallet widget. Since it depends on the DApp API, right? But we want to increase feature. But right now you can connect to the wallet and talk with the wallet, and it's complete. People can use it already.
Okay. Perfect. That is that's really good. That's amazing. Okay. Do you have anything else to show us, or because I think if not, stop sharing the screen because it's on Restream. I think it's probably making us a bit smaller.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. That is amazing. Before we wrap up, does anyone have any questions that they want to ask Eric or myself, whether it's through YouTube or Discord? Please let us know. I'd like to end with like a call to action. A few call to actions actually. The first is please join our Discord if you have not. Again, it's literally where everything happens. People on Discord are like privy to information before anyone else. The second is if you are thinking about partaking in a hackathon, just register. Even if you don't end up doing anything, it's worth registering and then like not submitting anything than it would be having something and then forgetting to register, because that way you're not eligible to win. So just register. The registration link is on midnight.network, and then go over to hackathons and you can register there. Eric, any final words from you?
Yeah, well, I welcome everybody just to join the Midnight Discord and the Mesh Discord. We just created a new channel under the Discord Mesh Discord organization dedicated for Midnight using our tools. So that's something that I mentioned, right? Now there is a lot of ways to learn and to get feedback from. So yeah, I'm welcome. And for this hackathon and beyond, actually, what we want to do in Mesh is kind of collaborate, right? So new developers, they can join on things that we are developing, and they can join those projects. They can learn, and in the future they can collaborate.
Okay, amazing. That's excellent. Again, final call to action: follow Eric on Twitter. Eric, anything you just want to shout out? Anything else? Any other websites if you want people to join?
Well, I mean, follow my Twitter. I'm putting everything over there. I mean, I just putting everything regarding. Yeah, that's the truth of sorts.
Okay, cool. So follow Eric on Twitter to get information firsthand, and join our Discord, and also register for the hackathons. Okay. With that, thank you everyone for joining. Again, the format and the time is all driven by your feedback. So make your voices heard. Come to Discord, give us feedback, open up a ticket, give us feedback. We're always looking for feedback and ways to improve the experience of being a Midnight community member. There's loads of things coming in the future that I can't speak about now, but the next few months will be very interesting for Midnight, and especially our community. It seems like people like this time a bit more, so it looks like we'll be sticking to it. But again, if you have something to say, please come say in our Discord, and I'll run a poll. Actually, I'll release a poll that people can vote and see which times they prefer. Sergey is giving us bad feedback on Discord right now, so we'll see how that goes. All right, so thank you everyone for joining once again, and I will see everyone next Wednesday, hopefully. And obviously, if any questions before then, raise a ticket, come to Discord, raise it with the community. More than happy to help. And thank you, Eric, for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, admin, and thank you for sharing the time and let the community speak up and share what we're building.
No problem. Thank you again. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you.